Viewers, good evening. The Election Commission has announced Pan-India Special Intensive Revision, that is Pan-India SIR. The opposition, having failed miserably to substantiate their wild claims in Bihar, is now spreading their poison across the country. And I'm choosing my words carefully. They are now aiming to vitiate the atmosphere in states like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Fear-mongering, fakery and fabricated narratives, viewers, that's their toolkit. Remember Rahul Gandhi's famous words? They want to incite the people, pit them against the Indian state itself, all in a bid to scare voters into their folds. So let's expose this unadulterated provocation. Let's start with facts, viewers. The SIR is no secret conspiracy. So don't be misled when someone says that this is some plot against democracy. This is a transparent exercise to purge voter lists of the dead, the duplicates, the ghosts, if you will, and yes, the infiltrators who've been legitimized for decades. The Election Commission in its press conference just a few hours ago laid it out clearly. Phase 2 kicks off tomorrow in 12 states and union territories. Andaman and Nicobar, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat, Kerala, Lakshadweep, Madhya Pradesh, Puducherry, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. House-to-house verification will be done from November 4 to December 4. Draft rolls will be out on December 9th. Claims and objections will be entertained till January 8th and the final rolls will be out by February 7th next year. Viewers, this is not about deleting voters but about empowering genuine ones. Let's turn to Bihar now, where this whole farce began. The opposition went ballistic, claiming lakhs of poor minority voters were being erased as part of some BJP EC conspiracy. Rahul Gandhi led the charge with his vote chori rants, paralyzing the parliament with protests. But when the dust settled, viewers, there was zero substance, zero, a big one. The EC released data showing only 128 objections from all political parties combined. And get this, Congress filed not one single objection, not one appeal under Section 24A of the Representation of People Act, the RPA. The Supreme Court itself raised eyebrows at their inaction of the ecosystem. Opposition asking why didn't they use the full month for claims? Viewers, they could not prove a thing because there was nothing to prove. It was all smoke and mirrors, a failed bid to stir chaos in Bihar, and now they are rehashing that same script nationwide. The usual suspects are back again. TMC calls it a backdoor NRC. DMK says this is about deleting voters. Congress questions the intentions of the poll panel. Viewers, this is opposition for the sake of it. A calculated campaign to inject doubt, to frighten voters into thinking their voice is being silenced. It's the same old pattern, viewers. Fabricate a crisis, blame the state, and hope the panic translates to votes. Remember Rahul Gandhi's toolkit to fight the system? This is that. Promise or vow in action. Provocation, pure and simple, designed to divide and disrupt. Viewers, having lost the battle of proof in Bihar, the opposition is now poisoning the well in other states, hoping to turn a routine democratic exercise into a tool to scare people. But viewers, you can see through the fakery already. The poll panel has made it easy for the doubters. Drop the drama, join the process, file your claims if needed, or be called out.
सरकार की मंशा क्लियर नहीं है और सरकार पूरी तरह से जो डेमोक्रेटिक सेटअप है भारत का, वो कहीं ना कहीं उसको क्षति पहुंचाने की कोशिश कर रही है।
इसमें बड़ी तादाद मुसलमानों की काटी जाती है और उन तमाम लोगों की काटी जाती है जिनके बारे में ये उम्मीद की जाती है कि ये बीजेपी के खिलाफ वोट देंगे।
डिस्ट्रिक्ट यूनिट है, 29 तारीख को इमरजेंसी मीटिंग बुलाएंगे जिला में, वहाँ पब्लिक मीटिंग करेंगे। जरूरत पड़े मस्जिद में, मदरसा में, मंदिर में, कहीं भी हो, पब्लिक ज्यादा आते हैं, वहाँ बताएंगे कि SIR में आपका गर्दन काटा जाए।
इस सब के बीच SIR कराना एक ऐसे चुनाव आयोग द्वारा जिसकी मंशा, जिसकी नीयत, जिसकी क्रेडिबिलिटी पे बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क है। जाहिर सी बात है, लोग संतुष्ट नहीं है, विपक्ष संतुष्ट नहीं है, वोटर संतुष्ट नहीं है।
Let's open this up. Sardar R.P. Singh ji, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Rajkumar Rajan ji, National Spokesperson of the Rashtriya Janata Dal. Nikhil Jain, Political Analyst. Professor Monojit Mandal, Political Analyst. Mohammad Tariq Khan, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. And Dr. Anand Ranganathan completes this panel. Nikhil, you've been to Bihar, and I won't be surprised if you're still in Patna. The Congress could not prove anything. Rahul Gandhi went to town saying vote chori, this, that, the other. Now the Congress is back again saying that this is to, this is vote chori at the national level.
Pranesh, I'm still in Bihar. I'm still in Patna. In fact, just yesterday I returned from a tour. And what I could find was that, first of all, many people on the ground do not even know that an exercise like the SIR was conducted. So the allegations of the opposition that the BLOs were filling up forms themselves, that is completely right. That is what I found in my own personal investigation. Secondly, it draws back to the core topic. Why is the SIR being conducted? Because as far as I remember, in June or July, when the SIR exercise was initiated in Bihar, the Election Commission came out and said that we are going to filter out the infiltrators. But now, according to the Election Commission's own data, they have not pointed out a single infiltrator that they have removed. They have removed some people on the pretext that they have died, some people on the pretext that they have permanently relocated, but they have not given a single stat of a person who has been removed because he's been found to be a
not just infiltrators. I just said it. It was also to delete the dead voters, those who were not. Why are you just speaking on that one word? And what has the opposition done? How many claims has the Congress party filed? आप बता दीजिए कितने अपील फाइल किए?
Pranesh, fact of the matter is that before every election, the Election Commission does conduct an intensive revision of the voter rolls to weed out dead voters and those who are permanently relocated.
Then what is the problem?
The Election Commission. The problem is the SIR, where you're asking people to submit documents that a majority of the country does not have.
Nikhil, now 1 minute. The Sherlock Holmes in you just said that you spoke to people on ground and you said half the people were not even aware of the exercise. So what is this great conspiracy that the EC has completed and the people are not aware? तो क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं आप?
गणेश, मैं ये बोलना चाह रहा हूं कि जो टीवी पे बोला जाता है, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस पे बोला जाता है, that is very different from what is happening on the ground. So on television and in press conferences, the Election Commission of India and their proponents and sympathizers say that this is an exercise where every single voter in the country will have to submit a bunch of documents. But on ground, what has happened is that the BLOs have filled up the forms themselves. The BLOs had the power to determine whether the person will remain as a voter or not, and this is grossly problematic in a democratic setup.
Now the second part of this exercise, you must come clean on that. The political parties have a right to go up in appeal. Have you done that? Bataiye. Bring out your papers.
I'll tell you another problem that I faced, that I've personally met multiple voters who've been deleted, but they're not willing to come forward because they're afraid of the local MLA, they're afraid of the government, they're afraid that their benefits will be cut out.
There are many people that I have met and they think Rahul Gandhi is lying. Now, I can also say that, Nikhil.
No, but is it just me who's saying that? Wasn't there a report by the...
Where is the proof? Go to the court. Has the court said anything adverse about the exercise? Not yet, not that I'm aware.
Yes.
If there it is,
yes.
No, if there is anything, read it out.
Justice Pardiwala had very famously noted that you are asking the kind of documents that even I would not have. He's a sitting Supreme Court judge.
That was about the documents. Has he questioned the exercise, Nikhil?
That is the problem, Pranesh.
Okay.
What is the exercise if you're not going to talk about the documents?
Okay.
Pranesh, let me ask you.
No, 1 minute. How much? Sir, I gave you 5 attempts. Itna to Election Commission bhi nahi deta hai to file objections. Dr. Rajan, ये जो एक्सरसाइज है बिहार में, पहले आप लोग बोल रहे थे कि वोट चोरी हो रही, अब ये 12 स्टेट्स और यूनियन टेरिटरीज में होगी, इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है सर?
देखिए, चुनाव आयोग को यह समझना होगा कि उसकी जिम्मेदारी मतदाता सूची को ठीक करना है, बेहतर करना है और बेहतर तरीके से कैसे मतदान होगा, इसकी जिम्मेदारी चुनाव आयोग को है। लोकतंत्र संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का एक स्तंभ है चुनाव आयोग, लेकिन चुनाव आयोग पर बार बार प्रश्न क्यों खड़े हो रहे हैं? चुनाव आयोग की विश्वसनीयता पर विश्वसनीयता पर प्रश्न खड़े हो रहे हैं। चुनाव आयोग की निष्पक्षता, पारदर्शिता पर बार बार प्रश्न उठ रहे हैं। उसके जो ठोस कारण है, उन ठोस कारणों को मैं यहां इंगित करना चाहता हूं। पहला कारण देखिए, बिहार में जो एसआईआर की प्रक्रिया शुरू हुई, उस प्रक्रिया में टाइमिंग को लेकर था कि टाइमिंग जो होना चाहिए, चुनाव के ठीक पहले कराने की क्या जरूरत थी, मानसून का समय तो नहीं कराना चाहिए। यह एक उदाहरण दे रहा हूं कि चुनाव आयोग पर बार बार प्रश्न क्यों खड़ा हो रहा है। और जिस तरह से चुनाव आयोग ने मतदाता सूची को ठीक करने की प्रक्रिया के हिस्सेदार
नहीं, डॉक्टर राजन एक मिनट, आप जो बोल रहे हैं टाइमिंग की बात, अब ये जो 12 स्टेट्स और यूनियन टेरिटरीज हैं, इसमें तो टाइमिंग का कोई ऐसा इशू है नहीं, इसमें तो काफी पहले हो रहे हैं चुनाव से, तो यहां तो ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए।
मैं एक उदाहरण, छोटा सा उदाहरण 30 सेकंड का देंगे तो मैं बिहार के संदर्भ में आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि हिंदुस्तान में जो अलग अलग स्टेटों में हो रहा है, वहां भी इस तरह की धांधली होंगे। महज समझिए, जब सितंबर 2025 में टेक्निकल ग्रुप ऑफ पॉपुलेशन प्रोजेक्शन में 8 करोड़ 22 लाख वयस्क मतदाता थे बिहार में, और जिस समय एसआईआर की प्रक्रिया शुरू हुई उस समय बिहार की वयस्क मतदाता 7 करोड़ 89 लाख था, और फाइनल लिस्ट जब आता है 7 करोड़ 42 लाख हो जाता है। आप एक बात बताइए, जो 7.8 करोड़ था उसे बढ़ना चाहिए कि घटना चाहिए, वह घट गया और 80 लाख वोटर लिस्ट से नाम गायब हो गए।
डॉक्टर राजन, अगर आप जो कह रहे हैं वो सही है तो आपको कोर्ट जाना चाहिए, आपको इलेक्शन कमीशन से अपील करना चाहिए, वो तो पूरा प्रोसेस है। और मुझे एक बात बताइए, बिहार में ये बात कही गई थी कि बीजेपी हार रही है चुनाव, इसीलिए ये यहाँ पे एसआईआर की जरूरत है। मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान, ये सब तो बीजेपी रूल स्टेट्स हैं सर। यहाँ पे तीनों राज्यों में अभी बीजेपी फिर हार जाएगी, इसीलिए करवा रही है।
देखिए एसआईआर की प्रक्रिया जब बिहार में प्रारंभ हुई थी, और आपको याद होगा कि चुनाव आयोग के पास हम लोग बार बार गए थे, विपक्षी दल पूरा अपने सदस्य को लेकर वहां गया था, उनसे बातचीत की गई, जो प्रक्रिया में गलतियां थी उसको सुधार करने की गुंजाइश की गई, प्रार्थना की गई, लेकिन नहीं माना, अंत हमको कोर्ट जाना पड़ा। और आप जानते हैं, पूरा हिंदुस्तान जानता है, कोर्ट में हमने प्ली की है और उस पर बहस की।
अंततः कोर्ट ने क्या कहा डॉक्टर राजन? कोर्ट में बहस तो ठीक है, कोर्ट ने कहा क्या? कोर्ट ने रोक दिया एसआईआर? नहीं रोका ना। अगर कुछ प्रक्रिया में कमी होती तो कोर्ट को रोक देना चाहिए था। प्रोफेसर मंडल, द टीएमसी कॉल्स इट एनआरसी by backdoor.
Yes, it's happening. I tell you, I mean, how many Bengalis, the citizens of the country, you have pushed to the Bangladesh? That's happened. That's happened from Maharashtra. You are, systematically targeting Bengalis who are living outside the state. That's happening. And the notices from NRC notices have been given to, I think, a dozen citizens of Bengal from Assam government. And that was displayed by Nanarjuna, the Chief Minister herself. We probably have not followed that up. The fact remains that, SIR is an exercise which is deliberately done to take away the rights of the citizens. That means you are trying to deprive us of our own citizenship. That's NRC and nothing else. And this is a perfectly well-timed comment by Mamata Banerjee.
How is this about citizenship, sir? What has the SIR got to do with citizenship, Professor Mandal?
The fundamental right of the citizen is taken away. When I am not allowed to choose my governor, I am given an example. Like the people who have been affected by flood in North Bengal, I think lakhs of them, they have lost everything. Forget about their house. They have lost their data. They have lost their document. Everything. Even the books of the children, they have been lost because of this unfortunate flood. How will they prove that they are citizens of this country? The same thing will happen to other states also. And I'm appalled by the conduct of the Election Commission on the pretext of the case that is going on in Assam NRC. They have left out Assam, where historically...
No, 1 minute. Assam has been left out because the Election Commissioner said, the CEC said, there'll be a separate process for that, and that will be announced soon. So it hasn't been left out in that sense. But Mohammad Tariq Khan, what do you make of the fear mongering we are seeing once again? Backdoor NRC, लोगों के नाम काट दिए जाएंगे, etc., etc.
What PM has said, there has been lots of ghuspaiti here in India. Okay, point number one. Then, Election Commission started SIR. You says 3 point something lakh people are deleted. So they must be Ghuspatiyas. So on these Ghuspatiyas, and if they are not Ghuspatiya, then they have voted in last election. Who are they and why they have voted? And from which constituency they have voted, and who has won from those constituency in last Lok Sabha election. Last SIR in Bihar was in 2002 to 2004. Now the simple question is that the claim of the Prime Minister is that there has been lots of Ghuspatiya, will detect them and throw them out of the country. Very good. How many people you have thrown out of the country to Bangladesh, to Afghanistan? How many people? How many people? Now give me the data. BJP spokesperson should give the data, exact data, that how many people you have deported, point number one. PM and Amit Shah continuously they are saying that they are Ghuspatiya. We will detect them, we will catch them. Okay, very good, you have catched them. They are near 3.66 lakhs in Bihar, according to the Election Commission. Now, who are they? Why there has been not any type of FIR? Why there has
तारिक
been
भाई,
not
मैं आपसे एक सीधा सवाल पूछ रहा हूं. राहुल गांधी called it वोट चोरी, सर. वोटर अधिकार यात्रा पे चले गए. What has the Congress been able to prove in Bihar? Nothing yet. तो कैसे हो गई वोटर चोरी?
There is a difference between chori and dakaiti. Now that chori will be converted into dakaiti. You have started in all these states. All these states. This is nothing but dakaiti. If you are saying that yes, we have deleted these number of people and they are Ghuspatiya, what action you have taken to these people? And if you have not taken, anybody who have done those elections,
Response to this, RP Singh ji.
Null and void.
सर, आप कई सारे लोगों को आप मुझसे पहले बुला लिए, allowed all of them to speak before me, but let's understand, 22.5 lakh voters were found dead. They could have brought them alive. जाते जनता खड़ा कर देते ना 22.5 लाख वोटर को. कोई 36 लाख 36.5 lakh voters shifted on Bihar, and they were not voter of Bihar anymore. They had double voter, named duplicate names in various voter lists. So their names were deleted. So खड़ा कर देते उनको. Almost 68 lakh voters were deleted. Could they produce even 6 voters to say that yes, they have been wrongly deleted? No. Well, but they were trying to build up a narrative actually, and they have miserably failed. They have fallen flat on their face as far as the narratives goes. But what is there in the law? What do the law say? Law categorically says that yes, SIR Article 324 categorically gives power to the Election Commission to conduct SIR and also to ensure that only citizens should be the voters and non-resident and non-citizens should not be voters. Is as per the law. It's all mentioned in Constitution and Article 324, 326, and also it is as per the RP Act 21, 16 and 19 which define this. But they don't believe in Constitution also. Actually, they are trying to build up a false narrative which is that, oh, Muslimanon ke vote kat jayenge. I give a challenge. Let them go and identify how many Muslim votes have been deleted of those 68 lakh voters. I give, because they have people on the ground. And yes, there are people who walk in, they creep into our voter list and they contest elections.
No, ये जो challenge आप दे रहे हैं RP Singh ji, you see the problem is, Nikhil Jain will say that these people that you're talking about, इनके नाम तो कटे हैं लेकिन इनको डर लग रहा है बाहर आके बोलने में. Congress party has put out a tweet. That's the post on the screen. चुनाव आयोग या 12 राज्यों में वोट चोरी का खेल खेलने जा रहा है. SIR के नाम पर बिहार में 69 लाख वोट काटे गए. अब 12 राज्यों में करोड़ों वोट काटे जाएंगे. ये खुले तौर पर वोट चोरी है जो नरेंद्र मोदी और चुनाव आयोग साथ मिलकर कर रहे हैं. डॉक्टर रंगनाथन.
Good evening, Pranesh, and good evening to my fellow panelists. As I am the last one on the panel, or maybe I think Tariq Bhai hasn't spoken yet, please give me a couple of minutes to set a few things right. This is, I'm afraid, always over the last couple of months, Pranesh, with due respect, I have seen this argument, debate, degenerates into tu main. With due respect to my dear friend Nikhil Jain, I don't want it to degenerate there. So I'll ask him a very simple question, and depending upon his answer, I will base my thesis on that. That is fair enough, and my good friend Nikhil should have no objection to it. Nikhil, Please help me understand. Was it a fact or was it not? Simple question. That when Rahul Gandhi won his Wayanad seat, there were 20,438 duplicate voters. Yes or no?
Dr. Ranganathan, you're a scientist. You must very well understand that every question does not have a yes or a no answer. The BJP has been making the same allegations about vote chori that the Congress has been making, and yet the Election Commission is not willing to answer on that.
It can obviously have a yes or no answer.
What he's trying to do is more complex than that, Pranesh, and I'm sure you're smart enough to understand that.
No, but then call him out. If you think Dr. Ranganathan is trying some stunt on TV, call him out.
He tries stunts on TV every single day. I think that's what he's best known for.
No, those stunts.
Other than his academic work.
Those stunts actually expose the ecosystem. Nikhil, now, seriously, let's not make this into tutu meme. He's asked you a question, you can respond.
No, I can very well respond and say, yes, there were multiple fake voters during, in the constituency where Rahul Gandhi had won his election.
There you go.
The winning margin, listen, you'll have to listen to me after that. But the winning margin was larger than the number of fake voters.
No, but how does that make a difference? Even if there is one duplicate voter, in principle, there is legitimacy to the exercise, to that demand that, let's weed out the duplicate voters, etc. Dr. Ranganathan.
Yes, I only get 2 minutes. Usme se agar Nikhil, my friend who's already spoken for 3 minutes, if he takes my 1 minute also, mere paas bachega kya? मैं तो राहुल गांधी की तरह हो जाऊंगा, फिर वेट करता रहूंगा 20-25 साल तक. तो प्लीज अलाउ मी. Now that Nikhil has accepted that the seat which Rahul Gandhi won, there were 20,438 duplicate voters. Let us go with that premise. There's just one seat. There are 540 odd seats. The fact of the matter is, without going into the reasons, and of course there are discrepancies, irregularities for which, yes, EC has to be blamed and it has to set its house right. But the fact is, every constituency going forward in time frame gets dead voters, duplicate voters, voters that need to be aligned with the realistic situation. Now, what is the conspiracy in this? When you yourself have accepted that Rahul Gandhi's constituency had duplicate voters, do you not want every constituency to show the realistic number of voters so that the people who actually are there, voters, should be allowed to vote? And number two, as for my good friend Professor Monojit Mandal and Dr. Raj हैं, मैं इनको बता दूं कि 2022 में इलेक्शन कमीशन ने जो एक्सरसाइज करी थी, 10 million duplicate voters हटाए थे. This is a common thing. All I encourage now EC to do is that, and I've been saying this, crying out loud from the rooftops, that before every election, ample time of course given before the voting date, you must have an SIR to weed out the voters that are not there anymore. इसमें conspiracy कहां से आ गई मुझे पता नहीं चला, but still I end by thanking Nikhil, who has accepted that Rahul Gandhi won in a constituency that had 20,000 duplicate voters. I won't now ask him that when Priyanka Gandhi won from Raebareli, how many duplicate voters were there? I will tell him 19,000. Ye lo.
Nikhil,
what about the constituency where Narendra Modi won? Did that not have fake voters? Did that not have?
So Modi is not. No, but Modi is not protesting against SIR. Is he?
No. Yes. Why not? Anurag Thakur conducted a press conference where he listed.
The BJP is not calling this vote chori. They have no problem with the SIR. RP Singh जी, आपको SIR से problem है? निखिल जैन को एक बार बता दीजिए.
मुझे तो प्रॉब्लम है कि इस बात से कि लोग वोटर लिस्ट में घुसकर इलेक्शन लड़ गए. उनके इलेक्शन चैलेंज हुए. पाकिस्तानी नहीं, मैं करीमुद्दीन AIDF का कैंडिडेट 2021 में इलेक्शन लड़ा है साहब में. ऐसे ही एक कमालुद्दीन साहब हैं, वो 1996 ये सब चैलेंज हुए. 1996 में वो इलेक्शन लड़े. एक सादिक साहब हैं, मोहम्मद सादिक 2019 में वो उन्होंने इलेक्शन लड़ने की कोशिश की. मतलब इमेजिन दिस, by infiltrating into voter list, the Pakistanis, the Bangladeshis or the Rohingyas can rule and govern and can decide our future. But that's my bigger concern. And Nikhil, sir, आपके लिए भी उतना ही जरूरी है एक वोट उतना जितना मेरे लिए है. आपका नकली वोट हो या मेरा नकली वोट हो उतना ही खराब है जितना आपके लिए मेरे लिए है. It's for everyone. if Rahul Gandhi constituency has some 20 lakh fake voters and Priyanka Vadra had 19 lakh fake voters, then it's matter of concern. And this should be taken care of. What's wrong in it?
Dr. Ranganathan, you caught him off guard.
नहीं मैं आरपी सिंह, अरे वो तो ठीक है, इज अ गुड फ्रेंड, ऐसी चीजें चलती रहती हैं. आई मीन आज ये हारे हैं, कल भी हारेंगे, परसों भी हारेंगे, कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन मैं आरपी सिंह जी को बता दूं, इतना वरीड ना हो कि कह रहे हैं कि अरे भाई बांग्लादेशी निकले थे इलेक्शन. आरपी सिंह जी, बहुत इटालियंस भी इलेक्शन लड़ चुके हैं इंडिया में.
Okay, well, Professor Mandal, Nikhil, just 1 minute. I'll come to you. Professor Mandal, this thing about the NRC, आपने बोल दिया, of course this is NRC, by backdoor, etc. इससे पहले सर 8 बार SIR हुआ है, वो भी NRC था, from 1951.
SIR हुआ था, लेकिन इतना 10 to 15% of the electoral roll, they have not been deleted ever.
No, but Professor Mandal, if this is, no, 1 minute. So the exercise has not taken place in Bengal. You are calling it NRC by backdoor. Then answer the question, the 8 times that SIR has taken place from 51 to 2004, वो भी NRC था. Why which door? By the front door, by some other door, by the, by the terrace ceiling. What was it?
अरे भाई, अरे कुछ भी आप कर लीजिए ना, you are going to lose Bengal. Don't worry about that. We are not worrying about that. We are just simply worrying about the common rights of the citizen, like you did in Bihar. Yes, SIR is a regular exercise, but never ever in the history of Election Commission of India, 65 lakhs of fake voters have been found, which is 10 to 15% of the electoral rolls. There lies the concern. And you are talking about Assam, maximum number of...
No, we'll come to Assam. 1 minute. This claim about Bihar, Professor Mandal, just hear me out. Just hear me out. There were at least 3 lakh notices given to suspected voters to determine their status. ये मैं बिहार की बात बता रहा हूं आपको.
65, that's what I'm asking. One good friend from SP has already raised this question. How many of these fake voters have voted in 2024? Even if 50% of these voters...
But it's not that. If you don't... Sir, if there is a process, you can't say कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. The law of the land has to be followed.
Are you following the law of the land? You have blocked our fund for Bengal. You have been slapped by the Supreme Court today.
How is this about funds? Professor Mandal, see, you're shifting the goalpost. NRC, you couldn't hold on to that argument. Now you're talking about funds.
This government does not follow the law of the land. This government is a vindictive government against the opposition.
Okay, vindictive government, Dr. Ranganathan. RP Singh ji, aa raha hu aapke paas. Dr. Ranganathan. This is now about funds now.
नहीं देखिए Iris, you see how beautifully and subtly the goalposts have been shifted. It all started with the fact that every constituency, as time progresses, must revise the voters list, and this has to happen because this is the only way to conduct a free and fair election. Can you hold an election which has 60 lakh voters that are non-existent? I mean, that itself is preposterous. But now my good friend Professor Mandal has shifted the goalposts. In fact, the entire stadium by saying, I don't know who he means by you will never win Bengal. It's not about who wins or loses an election. It's about that the election is conducted freely and fairly, Professor Mandal. I congratulate you for winning today's election, tomorrow's election, and election for the next 30 years. But is that what we are discussing? I'm sorry, we are not discussing that, Professor Mandal.
Lying to my good friend, I am simply saying, my dear friend, please delve deep into the history of land. Yeah? This has never happened. That is the only concern that the citizens of this country is expressing. If that was the case, then even 25 to 30% of these voters voted in the
Professor Mandal, 1 minute. You're obsessing about the percentage. If there are discrepancies, go to the court. Why are you not going to the court? Challenge the process. Has the court said anything adverse about the exercise? It hasn't. How many times should I remind you of that?
Marginalized people to go to the Supreme Court.
Marginalized? What are political parties for? What are political parties for? Let Rahul Gandhi's Congress party go. No, let Mamata Banerjee go. Nikhil Jain, what has the Congress done in Bihar?
Pranesh, the Congress, along with other civil society members, filed a case in the Supreme Court against the SIR process. They were the ones who persuaded the Supreme Court to give a direction to include Aadhaar. Otherwise, millions and millions of more voters would have been removed from the voter list. You said not a single deleted voter has been presented. I'm sorry, R.P. Singh said that not a single deleted voter has been presented. He's forgetting that deleted voters were presented in the Supreme Court, and the Election Commission's lawyer, Mr. Dwivedi, was found saying, ये नौटंकी मत करो. जब deleted voters सामने खड़े थे, जिनके नाम बाद में ऐड कराए गए, तो इन्हें नौटंकी लगने लगा. रही बात duplicate voters की. On the issue of duplicate voters, the Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh himself has said it is okay to have multiple epics, but we make sure that one person only votes once. Now, how does he ensure that? How does he know that? God only knows. But he himself said it's okay to have multiple epics. So basically, he's saying duplicate voters is quite all right. And lastly, no exercise.
No, 1 minute. No one is. No, 1 minute. You are saying one duplicate voter. If there is one, it's okay. You are exposing yourself, Dr. Ranganathan.
Check, please. नहीं, इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं कि you need to have a sixth panelist who's a AI generated robot. किसी भी political party का हो सकता है वो robot, लेकिन वो सिर्फ उसका काम होगा फैक्ट चेक करना. अभी प्रोफेसर मंडल कह रहे हैं कि जो बिहार में डुप्लीकेट वोटर्स निकाले हैं 68 वो आज तक नहीं हुआ. He is factually wrong. In 2022, the Election Commission deleted, and I'm telling you the exact figure, 98,412 voters. Is that more than or is that less than 65 lakhs? I will leave it to the maths genius of Professor Mandal to find out.
Professor Mandal? Sir, we are having, a bad audio line with you. So, I can't make out what you're trying to say. We'll try and fix it again. This is not the first time. Nikhil, if you want to try your hands.
Yeah, Pranesh, am I audible?
Yeah. ये मैथ्स के सवाल पे सब फ्रेम फ्रीज हो रहे हैं. प्रोफेसर मंडल, निखिल जैन इज नाउ, देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम इन दैट लाइन. तारिक भाई मुस्कुरा रहे. तारिक भाई, फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट है आपका मैथ्स, आप बता दीजिए.
Let me speak.
बोलिए सर.
Now there is, you are saying that the intention of the election commission to have a fair electoral roll. Okay, very fair statement. Then why they themselves have not included Aadhaar card? Why after the Supreme Court verdict they have included the Aadhaar card in that very list? Point number one. Point number two. Why Assam has been excluded from
sir, can I just answer
SIR?
point number one, तारिक भाई? मैं भूल जाऊंगा, इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूं. 1 minute. I am not, a genius like Dr. Ranganathan or the others on the panel. मैं भूल जाऊंगा सर. मैं पहले आपके सवाल का जवाब दे देता हूं. 1 minute. Why not? आपने बोला the Election Commission did not want Aadhaar as in the list of documents. The Supreme Court forced it to. Now, sir, just think about it. Viewers, you also think about this. If the Election Commission actually wanted to do something sinister, would they have agreed to it in the first place? वो भी ऐसे red tape में petition, affidavit जैसा होता है. The court case would have gone on and on. They said, okay, we will do it. They have nothing to hide. They are open to correction, which is why you have the process of appeals.
The matter is in the apex court.
And now that Aadhaar has been accepted, why are you opposing now?
सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आगे कहाँ जाएंगे? चांद पे जाएंगे क्या? नहीं, कोर्ट
चांद पे तो सर अब चांद पे मत ले जाइए, नहीं तो फिर डिबेट प्रोवोकेटिव हो जाएगा. बट मैं आपसे ये पूछ रहा हूं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोल दिया आधार, तब क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मान लिया इसी ने आधार, अब क्यों अपोज कर रहे हैं?
इलेक्शन कमीशन शुड एक्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबल. आपको पता होना चाहिए आप डिलीशन प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं, आप लोगों को हटाना चाहते हैं. आपका काम यह होना चाहिए कि जो वोटर बढ़ाए, करोड़ों रुपए खर्च होते हैं, वोटर बढ़ जाए.
बढ़ाए मतलब ये थोड़ी है एक वोटर 4 बार वोट देगा. ये क्या मतलब है तारिक भाई?
ये तो एक वोटर ने बीजेपी को कहा था मैंने 4 बार वोट दिया, चाचा एक वोट.
उसमें सर केस भी हो चुका है. आप गूगल कर लीजिए तारिक भाई, बार बार एक ही एग्जांपल देते हैं, फैक्ट चेक होते हैं. मुझे भी अच्छा नहीं लगता. उसमें बीजेपी, उसमें इलेक्शन कमीशन ने केस फाइल किया है, उसमें ट्रैक डाउन हुआ है. वो चेक करिए कौन सी सीट है, मैं भी आपको बता दूंगा. निखिल.
Pranesh, the point that I was trying to make when my connection went off was, and thanks to the internet in Patna, no exercise like the special intensive revision has been carried out so far. Intensive revisions have been carried out special divisions have been carried out, but nothing like the SIR has been carried out. In fact, the ECI rules do not even provide for something like the SIR. Number one. Number two, on the point of duplicate voters, it was the Chief Election Commissioner who said it is okay to have duplicate voters. It's not me. Obviously, it's not okay to have duplicate voters. I think everybody on the panel is smart enough to understand that. But the Chief Election Commissioner said that in the press conference. It's okay to have multiple voter registered in multiple roles.
There is a difference. Duplicate voters, 1 minute. Just because you have two epic cards does not mean you will vote twice. उसमें वो डिफरेंस है. ये कांग्रेस पार्टी के भी एक सीनियर लीडर है, स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट टाइप है वो. आई डोंट नो द नेम. देयर आर मेनी एक्चुअली. उनके भी एक दो ऐसे ही डॉक्टर रंगनाथन बोल देंगे.
नहीं, वो पवन खेरा जी हैं, आई थिंक, इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन. बट देखिए, मैं तारिक भाई की बात पे आना चाहता हूं. इन्होंने आधार कार्ड का फिर वही बोगी बार बार आ रही है. अब यस, मैंने पहले भी कह चुका है कि आधार कार्ड इज अ डॉक्यूमेंट not for ascertaining the citizenship of an Indian, but it's an identity, and more than the population of India are Aadhaar cards in India. So that tells you that almost everyone, of course, has an Aadhaar card. Now the point is, there were, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pranesh, 11 or 14 documents that were allowed by the EC. If all the other documents that were allowed by the EC were specifically to ascertain the citizenship, then yes, occlude Aadhaar card. But they weren't. Many of them were as to ascertain the identity as the Aadhaar card. So removing the Aadhaar card did not make sense. And Supreme Court said this, and the EC has accepted it. इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रहा. अभी भी आधार कार्ड इज ओनली अ वेरीफाइबल प्रूफ ऑफ आइडेंटिटी, नॉट ऑफ सिटीजनशिप.
डॉक्टर राजन, अगर ये 65 लाख डिलीट हुए हैं तो जो BLAs हैं सर, उन्होंने क्या किया? पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैव लेट देम डाउन. कैंपेन यात्रा तो आपने कर दिया, स्लोगन बोल दिया, वोट चोरी. उनके साथ कोई खड़ा नहीं हुआ.
देखिए, यह समझना होगा कि चुनाव आयोग के ऊपर बार बार क्यों आरोप लगते हैं. क्या चुनाव आयोग ने जो मतदाता सूची जारी की, उसमें मतदाता सूची के नाम के आगे ABCD का ख नहीं लिखा हुआ है? क्या मकान का नंबर कोई कहीं रहा है, उसके मकान का नंबर उसमें गड़बड़ी नहीं है? क्या एक ही मकान में बिहार में देखिए जो 742 करोड़ जो मतदाता सूची आई है, उसमें 21 लाख मतदाता सूची में जो नाम है, वह 3 करोड़ 15 लाख जो मतदाता सूची का नाम है, उसमें 21 लाख वोटर.
डॉक्टर राजन, ये तो कोई पहली बार या 2014 जब नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री बने उसके बाद का एग्जाम्पल तो नहीं है. उससे पहले भी था मल्टीपल एड्रेसेस. आप रिपोर्ट्स पढ़ लीजिए सर. तो जो भी इलेक्शन उससे पहले हुए थे, इफ द मैंडेट इज सस्पेक्ट, देन लेट्स कॉल आउट दोस पीपल इन द पार्टीज हु वन पोल्स. ये क्या, इस बात में कोई लॉजिक ही नहीं है. एंड निखिल, यू आर लेमेंटिंग the poor internet in Patna. Professor Mandal is not in Patna. उनको भी बोल दीजिए, call this some conspiracy.
That was a tongue-in-cheek remark. Let's not make it into a conspiracy.
Tongue-in-cheek, so that's all that you have. There's no substance. Rahul Gandhi said, vote chori, tongue-in-cheek. Now he's red-faced. क्या हुआ tongue-in-cheek का? Nothing. Yeah, Professor Mandal. Sorry, Professor Mandal, we have a bad line. I don't know ये किसके वजह से हुआ है. But, I apologize for this glitch to you and to our viewers. But I thank some of you for joining us on debate number 1. I just hope that this mindless opposition for the sake of it and the fear-mongering stops. Viewers, let's shift our attention.